Hi everybody. I thought I would share something very special with you today. It's been on the cards for quite some time and I am now back in London. I'm sitting here in the centre of London again with some very special news. Insight, the theatrical production, was very successfully showcased. So I'm going to share with you what's happened since there and since we showcased it in Nairobi. And just to say hello to all of you who are coming on. We've got, Tony, hello, Lulu, wonderful to have you with us today. And they're all coming on fast and thick, so it's wonderful to have this to share with everybody. So to give a better insight into what's happened, in June this year, we had a production placed and put on in Nairobi, Kenya, called Insight, and it was a dance, a contemporary dance, music and voiceover and visuals production that addressed depression, suicide and solutions very powerfully, and it was successfully showcased in June in Nairobi. And you know, I can only say that this was entirely possible. This is a big shout out and thank you to all our sponsors and people who donated, and not only financially, which was how we managed to put this production on, but also in their time and their dedication. It was just amazing. The cast, the crew, the team behind me that helped me as I was putting this together, the Academy of Dance and Art in Kenya too for their time and rehearsal space, and Arnie Umiam, the amazing choreographer who put my libretto together and put this amazing show together. Hi Liz, lovely to have you with us as well. Welcome, welcome. So what happened was, when the show went on, before the show went on, it was hugely challenging because this is a contentious issue. Most people feel very funny about talking about depression or suicide, let alone going and seeing a theatrical production about it. They're scared it might be too heavy or it might awaken emotions in them. There are a myriad of reasons why people feel a bit cautious about this. So it was quite a tricky thing to step forward and pioneer. But once people came to the production, they were blown away. The feedback from people, we had depressed people leaving that theatre and saying, at last, I feel heard, I feel understood, I feel people understand what depression is about. I had another person who had always their whole life felt that depression was a decision, and they went along to see it and were blown away because they went from this, oh, it's something you brush yourself down from and get over and be positive and you're okay, to even now she's saying that all these months later, it's left such a deep sense of empathy and understanding. And that's made a huge difference as well to so many people who had this idea that you could compartmentalize depression and suicidal feelings. And then we had whole families leaving and having new conversations about depression that were very empowering and uplifting, all because they now felt safer that this production had outlined it and given them a forum to talk lovingly about it and come up with the solutions that the production also presented. So there were many things that happened within this production that made a huge difference. There's even a section in it that addresses how a family feels dealing with a depressed or suicidal family member and what it does to them. And it's just melded together so well. And we've had a lot of requests for it to be repeated in Kenya. But our bigger and it will be. But our bigger picture is to franchise this production. It's a not-for-profit company, Beyond the Edge Productions, that has put this on, and we are franchising it really very like the Vagina Monologues. So it'll go worldwide and be put on a global basis over the next few years. But our first step has already happened, because we have very specially been invited to put this production on in Bulgaria next month in October. And that's why I have come through to London. I'm busy putting that all together. We're going to be using an almost all Bulgarian cast who will be reenacting what we did in Kenya. And workshopping and rehearsals start on Monday the 8th. And I'm very much looking forward to seeing how that goes. It's going on in the festival in Sofia, and we're looking at taking it further from there. So my heart is really filled with this news. You know, it's big when we can step it into Europe and through to the States and Australia and get it to spread worldwide. This is what it is about. It's new conversations about a subject that's just been taboo for far too long, far too long. So it's time now to be able to powerfully show that there is a solution with depression and that there are ways forwards. And this is what this show does so powerfully and lovingly and insightfully. And that is why we called it Insight. Some people asked me, why is there a semicolon in the middle of the name? And that's because a lot of people suffering from depression around the world have tattooed a semicolon onto their wrist. And whenever they're feeling suicidal, they look at that and it reminds them to pause and take a deep breath before they do anything drastic. So that's why we've got that semicolon in the name Insight. So now, obviously, this next step is big, getting it through to Europe. A big shout out also to the organizers of the festival in Sofia for inviting us. I know they're very, very inspired and excited to have us, and we're feeling much the same in presenting it there. But obviously there are a certain amount of costs, getting costumes together and so on. I want to also say I've very specially had my flight from London to Sofia donated anonymously, which has just blown me away. It shows how people see how important this is. But what I am asking is, we're looking to put together bits and pieces, and we've got a wonderful site for you to go and have a look at. It has excerpts from the show and explains the show a little bit more. And we're looking to raise £1,000 to get costumes and bits and pieces together for this show. So I'm going to share with you the link at the end of this video so that you can go and have a look at this site and see how amazing it is. Also welcome you to have a look at the website and the Facebook page as well. So please do go along there and have a look at it. And oh, hi George, wonderful. George is in China. Hi Susie, hi Chloe, hi Karen. Stan, gosh Stan, lovely to have you. Stan is the most wonderful dancer. So great to have you online too. So before I go off, if there's anybody that wants to ask a question, please do write it here as I talk a little bit more about the show and what we're going to be doing from here. We're definitely looking at getting it to Edinburgh Fringe and seeing where that takes us from there. But this is a very, very powerful show. It very sensitively depicts and goes really deeply into being able to understand how a depressed person feels. And I've just had my very best friend saying, bring everybody in onto camera. So I've just pressed that button, and I hope you're there. Did press the button, but I can't see anything. But anyway, yeah, so it's very sensitive, and it gets people to understand very differently about this subject. It opens hearts. It helps people to understand that it's not a disposition that you can just brush yourself down and get on with. So the first act deals with the insight into what depression really, really is about. And it's done, as I say, through contemporary dance, through song, through music, through voiceover. There's quite a lot of voiceover written as well, and amazing visuals too, and very powerful music that really gets you to go, wow, that's amazing. And the second act addresses why it is a person can't get over like that and get through something like this, and what are the ways to get through that are very powerful and very successful. They're the ways I've worked with depressed people all around the world for many years now. So yes, hi Rebecca, you're making it, you're with us, welcome. As we say in Kenya, Karibu. We've got Calvin, wow, all the way over in Bali. Calvin was knew Jenny, my daughter, at school. So Calvin, such an honor. Vinod in London, lovely to have you too, also online with this. Anybody want to ask questions about this production? But basically, I'm going to be leading you just now to go through to a page which will show you excerpts from the show, YouTube excerpts, and also a little bit more information about the show, and also how to get through to our Facebook page and our website, because the more people who know about this, the better. So please, I'm urging you to please share this video with the world. Like it, share it. Cass, wonderful to have you here. So wonderful to share it with as many people as you can. Bex, lovely to have you too. If you could share it, like it, let's get this message that there's finally something that people can use to address depression, what families can do to address depression, and how to use those solutions very powerfully and get through it. Hannah, my dear, most favorite niece, because she's my only niece, but my very favorite niece, wonderful to have you here from Switzerland. So I've got so many friends and family, and even some people I don't even know. Thank you for coming online, and please hit that share button whilst I'm still talking. Let's get this conversation with depression and suicide out there. Let's get as many people talking new, powerful, heart-opening conversations because of this production. I see it, and we see it getting worldwide very, very quickly, and it's already started happening by the production being done and performed next month in Sofia in Bulgaria. So this is our next step, and you now being online with me as part of that history is amazing. So I look forward to letting you know more of what's happening, and I shall go through with all those links with you now. And thank you so much for joining me, and love you all. I'll keep you posted. Bye.